But let's talk now about some other issues, right? And let's get a bit more national. On the immigration question. So, Nicolle, the Prime Minister and clueless Claire O'Neill stand there in December last year and say, we are changing the program. We are cutting back on the 700 and whatever thousand from the previous year. And then the next month, more people come in 1 month than 2000 and then all the way back to 2009. Yet I guarantee tomorrow there'll be no question about this in question time. No follow-up in the press releases anywhere. This is literally, they promised one thing in December, the opposite happened in January.
It's just extraordinary. I mean, Labor have completely lost control of the entire immigration portfolio. So it's not just record numbers of people being allowed in when they're saying, oh, no, we're cutting down because we know we don't have enough houses to house everyone and our infrastructure is under pressure and our hospitals are under pressure and cost of living's through the roof. But then it's also the detainee side of things. So there seems to be literally no minister within that portfolio who is capable of doing their job properly. I know when we last saw this level of incompetence, it was during the Rudd-Gillard-Rudd years, and we know how that story ended. So Albanese needs to get his ministry in order and get all of these various immigration-related issues under control very quickly, or it's going to hurt them very badly at the next federal election.
I mean, Sam, I know that until there's some evidence that a vote goes another way, they'll keep doing everything the way they do it, right? But if you recognise it's such a big problem that you stand up there in December and say, all right, we're going to pull it all back, and then in January there's an immediate opposite effect.
Not a great look.
But now they'll be able to say, well, the policy settings only apply to financial years and we didn't fill out the paperwork and technically...
Well, I was going to ask, what happened in February? Did February...
We don't have those numbers yet.
Right.
But this idea, right, so you just turn around and go, there was something that was starting to build up about this government and the Redbridge polling organisation. And by the way, they do a chat with Laura Jays each and every Monday morning. It's really interesting. Said that one of the things that was starting to bubble around the government was a sense of incompetence, right? And that was in relation to cost of living. They say they fixed that with tax cuts. And then it was about the borders, right? We're being softened up that the courts may turn on common sense again. And there's this issue about the number of people coming in. But it seems like any push here is responded by people like nasty Nikki Savva who say that it's offensive to talk about immigration. It's a low road to public office. It matters, right? Look, I want people to come in here and be happy. Sure, I also want them to find a place to rent.
Yeah, there's no question that if an election is held on immigration, Labor loses. Has always been the case, always will be the case. So, obviously Labor's going to want to talk about health, education, blah, blah, blah. That said, there's no question that there's a problem in the immigration system that needs to be tightened up. But I think to your point, and also to Nicolle's point, where this hurts is in the housing market. And this is where I've been saying for you, and look, I work for Vinnie's, right? We're a homelessness charity, we're a housing charity. Obviously, I've got a housing bent to me, but I think we need to supercharge the housing budget and they have already, to be fair to them.
Well, that's what's interesting with the Minns government in particular, right? They've gone bang, bugger this council's out of the way.
They've got a great housing minister.
They have a wonderful housing minister. You can welcome on the show at some point in time. But anyway, of course, talking about Rosie's missus. But it feels like, again, the housing issue, it cuts so many different ways. So when people turn around and hear about 100,000 people coming in, they go, mate, I'm already sitting how long in traffic and I'm already this and already that. The government can put forward all the economic arguments that they want. I just think the way normal people process it.
But I think the antidote to that is to go and drop another however many $1 billion and actually build some more houses and break the back of the housing supply problem.